Something did happen
It's
to
not
me,
too
Jim.
complex. Okay, go on.
Something big. Something very big.
How big?
Nah, not that big. I'm overselling it a little bit. Something with a little bit of a message for the people out there to learn. Something that might help your daily lives in one way or another. That being, never trust doctors. Or sometimes trust them. You know, there are experts in their field.
Trust doctors quite often.
Trust doctors, but take what they say with a grain of salt. As in, remember, at the end of the day, they are human.
Yeah.
And humans say things they don't always mean. Humans are creatures that make mistakes sometimes. So don't take your doctor's word as gospel. Because
don't fucking do that.
For like 2 years or more or something, I've been taking these tablets.
Has it been that long?
It was from roughly around when I made the fucking anxiety video.
Really?
Which I think is 2 years now, if not more. So since then, I mentioned in that video that I went to the doctors and he immediately prescribed me with these like drugs called, I always get it wrong. Propranolol, I think. Because I always used to think it was propranolol, but there's an A in there. Propranolol? There's something like that.
Propranolol.
It's like an anxiety medication. But for some reason, I don't know why. I guess because it's the mindset I was at the time. I never questioned the drug in any form. I didn't question possible side effects. I never did any research into the intent of the drug or things it's used for.
Mm-hmm.
And now, in retrospect, if I'd known some of the things I know now, I would never have taken them to begin with.
How do you know you hadn't looked up the side effects?
Well, here's
before?
the thing.
But
these drugs had side effects, but the reason I didn't know about them is because I specifically asked the doctor at the time, do these have any side effects? I might have phrased it as something like, do these have any like really bad side effects? Or kind of like suggested it in such a way where maybe it's only the worst things possible would be worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
But he said no. He said there are no side effects, and for some reason that was, oh cool, I don't have to worry about anything then. So then for like two plus years, I've been having these really strange problems that I just couldn't explain. Problems that I made a list of, I'll tell you in a moment.
Yeah.
But things that are like, I couldn't equate to anything. Like, it was really confusing me in my mind. Like, where is this coming from? Why is this happening? And the only conclusion I could come to was that, like, I was like clinically depressed or something, you know? Like, I couldn't figure it out because there is a bit of overlap with like the kind of stuff really bad depression can do to you.
Yeah.
These things being like really bad mood swings where like on a dime just something like completely minuscule could just plummet or elevate my mood.
Yeah.
A big one was these weird blood sugar level kind of fluctuations. So I've been saying to you for like the last few years, don't you get like really fainty when you're hungry?
Yeah.
To which you're like, what?
Yeah.
No? And like
because you were talking to me as if that's the normal thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not normal.
Because for the last few years, like when I've started getting, I guess, hungry, or I always thought it was caffeine because I'd always been able to drink caffeinated tea and coffee beforehand. But then all of a sudden, maybe there was a reaction with that and the drug or whatever.
Well, coffee like makes you think you have more energy than you have. So maybe drinking coffee, you do a bunch and then your blood sugar would be like...
Well, that made sense to me. That it was just caffeine, so I just cut caffeine out.
But I mean, like, if your blood sugar is already low and you drink coffee.
Yeah. But I did ask myself, why like a year before could I just happily drink coffee without any side effects? It's quite weird.
Yeah.
But clearly it's down to these drugs just like screwing with the chemicals in my body, because ever since I stopped taking them, which was like a couple of weeks ago now, or a week and a half or something, like I haven't had that once.
Have you drank caffeinated stuff?
I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, but you should.
I thought, because it can take like a month for all the stuff to leave your system. So I thought I better not just start shoving other bad chemicals in. Tiredness and fatigue is another one, where like just knackered for like no reason. Like you're just like, I've done nothing. Why am I so like tired and like just completely demotivated to do anything?
Which is a
depression thing.
Yeah,
alongside like mood swings.
Yeah, that is a. So you must have been thinking that you're like bipolar or something.
Yeah, it was really strange. Like I just felt fucked like all the time.
No, I remember once Mum coming to me and saying like, you should go see your brother more, because like he gets pretty down sometimes. And I was like, what?
There are more which are horrible. Nightmares.
Yeah.
Nightmares and disturbed sleep. So these are side effects that only affected me personally when I didn't take them. So take them for a few days. Don't feel like I need one today. Go to sleep. Have horrible nightmares in the night.
Well, do you remember you said that in a JARCast from a long time ago, you said you dreamt of all your loved ones?
Yeah. All of those dreams that I've talked about were all from when they'd started up again, which was around the time that these fucking drugs came into my life. And
that's crazy.
And that's another thing. At the time I thought, this is really weird. I haven't had like nightmares since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's not like that normal, is it?
No.
Unless you're like something
Well, I mean, unless
weird
you've watched
going
Gerald's Game.
Or yeah, unless you've watched a scary movie or something. So that was confusing, and it might sound to you like it's really obvious, but when you have the information from the doctor specifically saying that it's harmless,
yeah,
you don't put two and two together in the same way. It's just, oh, there's something must be wrong with me then. And the last one, memory loss.
Yeah,
I've been complaining for years that my memory is dreadful, like awful.
And you used to have a good memory.
Yeah. I used to have a really good memory. And this is the scary thing. Like, I can't remember if I asked the doctor if there were any really bad side effects or not. Like, I don't even know anymore. Like, my memory for the last 2.5 years is so spotty.
Really?
Because alongside that, so much has happened anyway for me. It's just all a blur in my head. Like I can't remember any of it.
You see, these sound like quite significant things, especially the amount of an effect they've had on you. Like the kind of things a doctor not only should say when prompted, but should say either way.
But here's the thing.
Do you think you were taking too many?
No, because I would take less than it suggested.
Really?
It wanted me to take 2 up to 3 times a day. I would rarely ever take more than like 4 in a day. But you gradually like form a dependency on stuff like that. You're like, right, I'm gonna go to the hairdressers today. Right, I'm gonna just take 2 before I go then.
Just gonna fucking swallow a whole pack.
Yeah. And that kind of thing. And the weirdest thing is the way I just in the last couple of weeks, the reason I figured this all out was because I'd gone on a dog walk with my mother, and she told me, oh, I'm reading a novel at the moment where one of the characters is on the same anxiety medication you are, and in the book they're having memory loss as part of the story. And she was like, maybe that's why you've got such a shit memory. And then I was like, wait, what? And I Google it.
And all these side effects.
And I just see like this list of side effects, and like for anything medical, there are always big like chat rooms or whatever of people all saying like, what's happened to, like, what's with these nightmares and stuff. And it's like, oh my god. And then I went and read and did some research, and it's like some of the things the drug is actually used for. It's like, God, I don't really want to take that anymore.
Some of the things the drug is used for.
In terms of like, it's what you give old people who've just had like a heart attack and stuff to make sure the heart is staying regulated and slow. And it's like, fucking hell, I don't need this in my body.
Yeah.
And like ever since I've stopped taking them, I've felt so much better.
That's crazy.
So warning to anyone out there. I think I might have even like I might have even said in the video how good I thought they were. Or something.
Yeah, I think you did. I mean, you...
And now I feel like, well, now I sort of need to say...
Yeah.
Like, watch out. Like, you can take them if you want.
I think this is a valuable lesson, like... Not necessarily don't listen to your doctor, but, like, look into it yourself. We have
before you, like,
now.
just throw chemicals and weird pills and stuff. Because in America, I know it's quite a big problem with, like... painkillers especially being prescribed left and right.
There are specific
and they're so addictive.
Bad for
and if your prescription runs out, the only way to get that same addiction is like, you know, street drugs.
Yeah. Well, I watched the whole Louis Theroux documentary. I said that really bizarrely. Documentary on Heroin Town.
Mm-hmm.
And basically every story is like, I was in a car crash 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the pain was ridiculous, so the doctor prescribed me pain relief.
Yeah.
And then it gets to a certain point where they're like, no, you can't have that anymore. It's too unhealthy.
Yeah.
And they just cut it off completely, and you're really addicted to this shit.
Yeah.
And
because it's an incredibly addictive substance.
But then you have to buy it for yourself. Mm-hmm. But then you'll quickly realise, oh, heroin is way cheaper.
Yeah.
So, like...
It's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
And I was pretty disappointed, you know?
Yeah.
In both the doctor and like the medical health system and myself for not questioning it.
Yeah, but I mean, you must have been quite happy the fact that your head ain't like fucked up.
Well, I'm pleased that like, even though it took 2 years of my life, like I've learned.
What if this has happened like 5 times? And you just don't even know.
It's scary. My biggest fear are things to do with memory as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing scarier to me than, like, just forgetting entire things from, like, dementia, stuff like that.
Who people are and stuff.
Yeah. So, to know that, like, just some of the things I just don't have any memory for.
Yeah.
So, I mean... You don't have to be like a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist about everything, but questioning people or getting a second opinion might be a good idea sometimes.
Yeah.
And of course, always, if you can, dealing with things without like a chemical
that
substance
kind of stuff
can help.
Goes to show, like, when you have all these people, ignorant people, saying like, just to depress people.
Yeah.
Like, why are you sad? You live in a first world country. Like, just be happy.
Yeah.
Just have a positive mindset. Like, it's clearly shit in your head. Like, if drugs can do that to you and have that effect, it's like it's out of your control.